I was hired a year ago by Sandy, and part of our interview conversations were how we were going to approach things moving forward. And one of the areas that we're going to talk about today mostly is our outbound ticket sales approach. And our first slide was passive inbound. If you build it, they will come. This is Sleepy Dorf, who is quoting one of the great movie quotes of all time on Field of Dreams, where they built a field out in the middle of nowhere and people were going to come and visit and pay a ticket revenue and all that good stuff. Well, we built our beautiful renovated Memorial Stadium, but this was one of our conscious decisions to approach the marketing and sales opportunities of our new stadium, or we could go with this approach. We better hustle and make some good things happen. Aggressive outbound. This approach, most universities in the college athletics landscape right now are on this approach. This approach is what all the pros are doing: NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey, minor league baseball. We felt that this facility couldn't sell itself. It's one of the best in the country, the best in the country, but we weren't going to take the risk of relying on inbound calls. We were going to reach out and reconnect with the Bay Area and Cal community. So what does this approach mean? In December 2011, I presented a business plan to John Wilton and Sandy Barber on what it would take to take our ticket sales operation in-house. We projected $393,000 in expenses for staff and commissions, and we projected $1.4 million in new business revenue. Okay, so about 3 times the dollar spent we were going to earn plus. That was minimum. Challenges and solutions: funding. John and Sandy identified a donor fund that was specifically set up for investment opportunities to cover the $393, but had some strong accountabilities that if we were going to access this fund, we better produce. And so we said, let's do it. Sales comp structure. This one was huge because if we could not figure out how to properly compensate our salespeople in the UC system on a commission-based, for every season ticket sale they sell, they need to have a commission. They have to eat what they kill. That's the whole premise of success in sales. And no one in the UC system had done it to date. We presented to Janine Raymond with the strong urging and support of John. And she came up with some creative solutions for us to properly bonus and commission our salespeople, which I signed off on commission reports 2 weeks ago, and it's my favorite thing to do. So we were able to figure that out. Since then, UCLA has adopted a similar strategy and set up an outbound ticket sales force. We've had Oregon visit us, and Washington State and Hawaii are looking at our comp structure as well. I put these logos at the bottom here because we looked at best in class. Who does this best in the country? And we identified the San Diego Padres. Major League Baseball has to aggressively sell based on the volume of games. But what we liked best about the San Diego Padres is they also have a customer service and retention group that values the relationship of the current season ticket holders. And it worked hand in hand with our outbound ticket with their outbound ticket sales group. Sandy and I at the Holiday Bowl went down and visited and toured them with a group of donors and brought them on as a consultant for 3 months to set up basically our business structure, how we could manage this group, train them properly, and then helped us identify the people that were going to run this. We professionalized a piece of business here because no one on the university landscape was doing this. We are the first university that has taken this full-blown venture on. The other logos here, New York Jets, NBA, 76ers. The two gentlemen that are complementing my presentation today are going to come up. That's their backgrounds. We didn't want anyone from the college level. We wanted to professionalize this from the pro space. And then time and execution. And it's kind of like, you know, when someone asks, how did you lose all that weight? And you say, well, diet and exercise. Same principles apply here. We had everything set up, and then we had to work very, very hard in a short amount of time to produce results. Because again, we had accountabilities with our donor group on the DIA fund. Janine worked very, very hard to set up the bonus structure to make this thing work. And then we had to go out and invest in the people to make this thing work on the management side. So I'm going to pass it over to Ash Pori, who's going to come up here. We hired him from the NBA, and he's going to talk a little bit about our sales numbers to date. And we took it in a 3-year snapshot, and I want you guys to understand where we've come from, where we're going, and what we're up against. Ash has been with us for 9 months?
7.
7? Seems like a lot longer than that. What I appreciate about Ash is he looked at this opportunity to be the first in the college space, to be a trailblazer. The energy and enthusiasm that it takes to get a project launched like this is tremendous. And every single day, he brings that urgency and that hard work ethic that we need to get this up and running. And I'm going to have him talk a little bit about the sales numbers. So here you go, Ash.
Thanks, Solly. Thanks, John, for allowing me to come speak. So again, Solly alluded to a 3-year snapshot. 2010, our last year in California Memorial Stadium. We obviously saw a decrease when we went to AT&T Park. But the important thing to see in 2012, you know, John, Sandy, and Solly all recognized the need to just be proactive, not assume that when we built this great stadium, people are going to show up. And we've seen some incredible gains, over 9,400 season tickets sold prior to or above last year, as well as significant growth in revenue. And the key to this is $1.7 million in new ticket and donation revenue. So, you know, if we just renewed everyone and not proactively sought out new business, probably would have remained flat or a little above last year. I want to highlight really quickly some of the packages we've offered. Partial plans. It's like 3-game packs, 4-game packs. It's something that we've done in the past. We've also tied an annual fund donation to it. What it allows us to do is get people to come back that have been past season ticket holders that canceled, or people that aren't sure they want to commit to a full 7-game package. So we've seen almost that revenue double over the past history. And group sales, which is groups of 20 or more to 1 game, revenue's a little more than doubled there since 2010. We are not satisfied with where we are. Our plan is to grow significantly and continue growth. So that's a good illustration of where we're going. Individual ticket sales, a function of this is wins and losses, as you guys know. You know, the team started out a little sluggish, but we've rebounded nicely, and so we're anticipating to hit approximately $4 million in individual ticket sales. Most of that's done online. We've done a great job at pushing people online and not taking orders here for individual games. I want to introduce Rob Christianak, who manages our outbound ticket sales effort. He's going to talk a little bit about the daily expectations of the staff as far as activity and the associated revenue.
All right, thank you, John. Thank you very much for allowing us to come as well. First, I want to get into the revenue. This is the end result, but obviously it doesn't just happen. We would all love for that to be the case. But what I wanted to really talk to you guys about was how we get there. For us, activity breeds results, and that's the byproduct of all the efforts that our staff is making outbound. The one thing we are focusing heavily on right now, and we hired a client, basically a client services manager to manage our data, making sure we're calling the right people, instead of working, make sure we're working smarter and harder all at the same time and calling the right people. So since we arrived, we've made from a sales staff and service staff combined over 28,000 calls. Activities, the calls, 28,000, is basically us picking up the phone and making an outbound call towards you. It's not you calling us. If you call us 5 times a day, if you have us on speed dial or anything like that, it's just us making efforts towards you. Our activities, over 36,000. Now that should either be at least the same, if not at the most double, specifically because the activities range from anything, you call me, I call you, I meet you at a game, I bump into you at a networking event, or we've traded email correspondence, and I'm trying to keep tabs on you to make sure I'm giving you the best services possible. Last was events. One of the things in talking to people coming here, some of my other colleagues that have been here, we wanted to do more events with more bodies. We've had the opportunity to do that. Specifically the one coming back home to CMS, beautiful stadium, we had a reseat, which was amazing. That was actually during my interview process when I was here, seeing these guys, getting people in, getting people excited. Everybody was jacked up to be here. Our service crew did an amazing job as far as selling new business and reselling existing people to get them into the same quantity, if not more. We had a 3-person sales staff at that time that was also jumping right into the trenches with them to handle that. We also had a men's basketball select-a-seat event. Not the same as a reseat where it's literally let's blow it up, go by priority points. It was literally based on when you renew in your tenure, you could renew the same exact seat, and with that opportunity you would come in at a certain time slot to be able to then upgrade. It was a 3-hour event where we had the men's basketball team come out, shoot on the court, take pictures. Very, very informal, but very hands-on and all access type of thing, which our fans are really excited about. That night we did in 3 hours. It was $152,000. $100,000 of that was 2 courtside seats as part of a 4-year scholarship, so $25,000 over each year. And then as you guys can see, football just over $8.7 million. In basketball, we're at $1.9 million right now, and the end result of our service and sales team renewing in a 2-week span, which was faster and more furious than ever, we renewed 94% of our season ticket holders, which was a great deal there. And before moving forward, those guys are in the back. Our sales and service team and our new premium team, we did the same thing. These guys, from mirroring the pro image, guys have done a great job, guys and gals, excuse me, have done a great job hustling, bustling, getting in front of everybody and really making it a first-class effort. And your guys' support is a big part of that, so thank you as well. Got it right. Next, jumping into the activity from...
Back up. How long did it take with the activation of the sales center with all those calls that were made?
How long did it take?
From start to finish to where we're at now. When did this go online?
We had three people in April on the sales side. I would say we were fully staffed by them on the phones probably middle of June, where everybody was really up and running, full throttle, everything ready to go.
So my point is, this is a short amount of time for this thing to get up and running, and the results that have been produced to date with these people making calls.
Then jumping into our premium seating. Do you want to jump?
Time out?
No, you
Oh, time. Okay. All right.
Go real quick.
Yeah, go.
All right, so real quick, we have a 3-person outbound sales team for our premium seating department / ESP. These individuals are focusing on anywhere from 25 to 50 outbound calls per day with the theory of let the sharks be sharks. Attack the corporate market, attack people that should have interest in one of the most luxurious seating in the entire Bay Area. Appointments, we're targeting 15 per week per staff member. Either inbound, coming here for a tour, or outbound, and utilizing our resources from Chambers of Commerce, the Revenue Generation Committee, or our club level, just mingling, touring, and showcasing what we have to offer.
Thanks, Rob. As you can see, just the activity on the premium side, we recently just absorbed the responsibility from our development office. We started September 15th. We've sold $200,000 in corporate bundles, over $1 million in pledges. That's the big one because that obviously is part of the model that is supporting our operating efforts, and almost $200,000 in perk offers which were tickets offered to existing ESP holders and premium seat holders to buy. Just really quickly, some great partnerships. StubHub, it's helped serve our customers a little bit better. We just launched last week. If anybody owns season tickets, probably got an email. It allows people to sell their tickets seamlessly, all in a better effort to serve and making sure people are getting the most out of their investment. We obviously have a big game coming up this weekend. I'm sure you guys are all excited. But we're leveraging this game. It's the highest demand game we have. We're pricing tickets at $95, which is $30 above what we started at based on our partnership with QQ, which is a dynamic pricing provider, which allows us to price up and down based on demand. Really exciting. This is our customer service brand, the gold standard. We live and die by that, and it's become not just this room, but it's kind of an intercollegiate athletics-wide culture. It's, you know, anything from making sure everything's clean to servicing every person that walks in any of our buildings and facilities. Speaking of customer service, I'm sure all of you attended a game. I'm sure you saw the students holding the "How Can I Help You" signs. They're student athletes. It's been awesome to engage them. The welcome home messaging from our landmark and security staff, guest service booths all over, and surveys. The most important thing right here is a quote from a company we received via our gold standard email address, and they compared our customer service to a Fortune 500 company, which is awesome, right? If we continue to live up to that kind of standard, we will generate more revenue. It's the bottom line.
All right, I'll go real quick because we just got the time. Wanted to point out this relationship. I know there's a few people here, and in particular, Lenormand and Sean Lapine. We decided to make a conscious decision to partner with one of our campus partners. I was told by Sodexo, our previous partner, that we're going to regret firing them, that it was the worst decision that we've ever made. To date, and I'm proud to announce that our per caps spending per fan is over $5. This is one, you know, in the top 10 across the country with all universities. The variety of our food with our subcontractors, I put Top Dog here, is a big deal. Speed of service, Tailgate Town, our pregame event that we do that they run, and then the Cal catering service of the clubs and special events has been off the charts. And so, you know, this all complements our ticket sales efforts, because if we're not providing an outstanding experience for our fans, they're going to stay home and watch it on TV, or they're going to do other things. And we're in a pro market where we compete with the Giants, the 49ers, the Raiders. We are not in Lincoln, Nebraska, and so these guys are a key partner of ours, and Sean Lapine, Lenormand, I want to say thank you to you guys in front of everyone here, because this is an important strategic partnership for us on our revenue generating initiatives. Then also we have AEG, ASUC, Van Wagner. I just wanted to point out that we're looking to actively make our athletic facilities multi-use facilities, Monday through Sunday night. We're not just going to rely on 7 football games. We're not going to rely on 15 basketball games to produce revenue for us. We've got to actively pursue other opportunities, and that might mean, you know, bringing the student bookstore up when they're getting renovated down here in Sproul Plaza to be housed out at the football stadium and generate traffic up there. That's an opportunity that we might look at on campus here. Naming rights with our field and all the revenue exposure that we're getting with the Pac-12 network. What does that look like? We've got to aggressively pursue these opportunities. So I wanted to point these things out to you, and I always end this. This was a photo that was captured at the last home game. This embodies a lot, because this represents more than just a football game. I don't know how many of you were there, but it was kind of a magical night. I think Sandy ran to the 50-yard line for the presentation at halftime there.
You didn't have to tell this.
I know, it was good. A lot of people saw it. It was great. But you know, we had a full stadium participate in the festive environment here that was more than just a football game at that moment. Because of this setup here and this approach that we're taking with our ticket sales, it's also offering opportunities for us to do other things. And we're moving forward with the initiative for baseball lights, which could mean working with Joe Watts and Mike on a multi-use facility out here, because we're in desperate need of field space, where we could have soccer events with our club soccer going on at 8 o'clock at night when the baseball facility is not being used, but you need lights. And our games are being played at Tuesday at 2 o'clock right now when kids are in school and people are at work. This gives us opportunity to sell group sales and season ticket sales, and our financial model was based on us being able to pursue this as a viable means for us funding these lights. And then this is part of our gold standard. Our daily actions and attitude will reflect the excellence of the #1 public university in the world. So we're excited to approach all these opportunities here more than just football, but what this means if we take the aggressive outbound approach in a lot of different avenues. And we talked a little bit about our campus partnerships. Okay, and then this is something I'm going to go through very, very quickly, but this is on the horizon, and I wanted to share this with all of you guys. This is Navigant. They specialize in valuing assets at the pro level. They do market research, valuation, and secondary research. Basically, they took a look at collective assets, value them out, and say, this is what it means to a corporate partner. We've got the NFL does it better than anyone on generating revenue with their corporate partners, and they've given Navigant a testimonial here. I share this with you because they're starting to go into the college space. They recently valued out all the assets collectively on the university campus with Ohio State. And what the results were in one business category was a 15-year partnership with Huntington Bank to be the university's official consumer bank, $25 million guaranteed, additional revenue, opportunities. And there's a B2B component tied to here. But I share this with you because there's opportunities with us working together, whether it's a naming rights opportunity with Oracle at our football facility and working with the School of Engineering on how do we align their interests with recruiting the top students in the world in diversifying our assets beyond just looking at it as a siloed approach. And if we do that, in these different business categories, if we work together, these are bookmarked by Navigant on what universities could earn from the low end to the high end. And I think the message today is if we can generate an additional $8 to $47 million by working together collectively in how do we take our ticket sales approach and apply it with Cal performances and share information on the people that are coming from the entertainment side to the athletic side onto this campus and work better together, what does that mean? And how do we share in that revenue? How do we work with rec sports to take our athletic facilities here and work better together? And what does that mean? And collectively, there's a lot of opportunity, and I wanted to just share this with all of you guys. So that's it.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.